Well, a surprise in the public corruption trial of former Speaker of the Illinois House, Mike Madigan, today.
Today, Madigan taking the stand in his own defense. WGN's Courtney Spinelli in that courtroom. She's joining us live from the Dirksen Federal Building. What did he have to say, Courtney?
Yeah, good evening to you both. Well, today's revelation will likely extend the trial into at least late January when jury deliberations are expected to begin in this case. Madigan spent close to 4 hours on the witness stand today, just wrapping that up moments ago. Here's a little bit more about what we heard from the courtroom.
They're now going to have words, voice, and face to go along with the testimony that they're hearing.
A stunning surprise in day 44 of the Madigan federal corruption trial. The often elusive former House Speaker who spent his decades in power saying little publicly, not shy of words on the witness stand. Quote, "Did you ever trade your public office for private gain?" asked Madigan's attorney, Dan Collins. "No," Madigan said. It was one of the only one-word answers Madigan gave. Expressive and detailed, he looked to jurors while testifying, including about his interactions with ComEd.
They're listening to a defendant who is speaking directly to them, and that makes it personal, and that can be powerful if you're Mike Madigan.
Madigan and his co-defendant, longtime political advisor Michael McLean, allegedly arranged multiple corruption schemes, helping AT&T Illinois and ComEd pass key legislation in exchange for favors from Madigan allies.
Clearly, as a seasoned lawyer, and he is that, he is making that decision that he will do a fine and successful job in representing his position like nobody else can.
Madigan, arguably the most notable former politician to take the stand in their own corruption trial since former Governor Rod Blagojevich. Political analyst Paul Lisnik explains the significance behind his choice to testify, calling it a step away from the norm.
Look, it is traditional in court cases that criminal defendants do not take the stand. And it makes sense. The burden of proof is on the government to prove their case. It's not on the defendant. So Mike Madigan actually doesn't have to prove anything in this trial, much less his innocence.
On the stand, Madigan was asked about things from his upbringing and schooling to home life and how it all impacted his career in politics. Madigan talked about his personal experience and how it influenced how he handled requests for help, including things like passing bills. He told the court he tried to bring people together or at least help minimize disagreements. Quote, "My general approach would be if I could be helpful, I wanted to be helpful," Madigan said. Now, 77-year-old McLean not going the same route, waiving his right to testify several weeks ago before the holiday break. There was discussion today over Madigan's testimony and whether it can be used in future civil proceedings, including a forfeiture hearing if he were to be convicted. So that still seems to be a little bit in the air without a definitive answer on that, but he did again agree to testify in his own case. For now, live at Dirksen Federal Building, Courtney Spinelli, WGN News.